Hey everybody, Mungo Dark Matter here, and welcome to Dark Matters. Today I thought I'd do a quick video on whether it's cheaper to buy a pre-built PC or to build your own. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Also consider clicking on the bell icon so you'll get new videos and be notified of new live streams as they happen. All right, there's always been kind of a big question whether it's cheaper to build your own machine or to buy one. And in the past, at different times, it's kind of gone back and forth a little bit. It used to be way back. It was cheaper to build your own machine because you could get the parts and put it together yourself. But you have to remember that a lot of machines are mass produced. And if they're mass produced, the manufacturer can get better parts on the price and they can put them together faster. And so they can give you a better price on the machine. So what are we to do? Do we really want to go out and build our own machine, or do we want to buy one that's pre-configured and what is it, pre-built? So that's the question, and a lot depends on how expensive a machine you want, what type of machine you want, and who's doing the manufacturing. For example, if you're getting a custom machine like a gaming machine, a lot of times if you buy them pre-built, you get a better deal than you would if you built your own. But if you get them custom built and with special things on them and such, they may be more expensive than you can build yourself. So that's something to consider. What I kind of do when I'm trying to decide whether I want to build my own machine or just purchase one is I will see what the best machine is that's pre-built, and then see if it has all the specs I want, and then I'll go and I'll try to spec out what it would cost me to build it. And most of the times, truthfully, it comes out about the same price, so you don't really save anything, plus you're putting it together. Now if you enjoy putting a machine together, then that's an advantage of purchasing the parts. Plus you can specify things sometimes a little more exactly to your standards. Like you might be able to get a particular brand of video card, for example, that you might not be able to get as an option on a machine that's pre-built, or one that you're even customizing and is pre-built. And there's a big difference between customizing a mass-produced PC and getting it like a custom-made one, because they have things in their factory when they're mass-producing them to change the parts in, and they may even have a few different standard configurations that they might sell you. When you're custom building a machine, you can specify all sorts of things, even including things like the case cover, whether there are LEDs in the case, a lot of different things you can specify. So I recommend kind of going out and doing your research to see, is it cost effective for you to do it, and if there are other reasons for you to build your own machine, like you just enjoy doing it, you want to customize something particularly. But there's another thing you can actually do, which actually kind of uses both options, really, in a sense. What I found a lot of times is that I might find a machine that's mass-produced that meets most of my requirements, but doesn't have them all. For example, it might have a really good processor in it. It might not have enough memory in it, or it might have enough memory in it. It might have everything that I need, but might not have the video card. So things like video cards and even memory you can upgrade. Sometimes you can actually purchase a machine, and the price of upgrading the memory, you may be able to get it cheaper at a vendor like Crucial.com, which sells RAM memory very cheaply. Now, the price of a lot of memory has gone up from what I understand, so that may not always be the case, or like particularly right now, but as prices of RAM go up and down, that can vary, because remember, the manufacturer can always get their memory cheaper than you can because they're buying a whole bunch of it. On the other hand, manufacturers like Apple kind of jack up the price to get extra memory because they make money off of that. So that's another thing to look at. Video cards, though, often you might be able to get a machine that has enough memory or where you can upgrade the memory, but the video card might not be up to the specs that you want. You might want a better video card. And so you might actually buy a pre-built machine that has everything else that you want and buy a better video card and either upgrade it when you get the machine or wait a while and upgrade it. So upgrading memory and upgrading video cards are something you might consider when you're looking at the cost benefits and the cost factors in building your machine. Now there's a third factor. I think it's third, maybe it's fourth. I haven't really been keeping track. Have you? There's another factor that you might consider also. If you have certain parts already for the machine, it's going to be cheaper. For example, if you're upgrading an old machine entirely, rebuilding it, and you're keeping the case, you don't have to spend the money on the case, and particularly if it's a really nice case or a really expensive case, you could be saving a significant amount by, replacing the motherboard and replacing the internals of another machine. Another thing you must consider is if you have other parts. For example, what if you already have your hard drive? What if you have your case, your hard drive? Then you might only really need to buy a motherboard, some memory, and a video card. In that case, it may be much cheaper for you to build your own machine if you already have some of the parts, or if you're rebuilding an older machine. So that's something you should consider. In fact, if you decide, hey, I'm going to go ahead and build my own machine anyway, look at some of the things that you may reuse on it later, like if you upgrade. For example, if you want a really nice case, you could invest in a case that was nicer so that when you upgrade it, you could keep that case and save some money. Another strategy some people use is they actually buy a cheaper case to build the initial computer and then upgrade the case later. So kind of look at your upgrade cycles and what you're going to upgrade and what you might keep later. And finally, maybe yet another option that you have is to look at refurbished PCs. Now, a refurbished PC is a PC that has some used and recertified, requalified parts. So for example, they may reuse older cases too, and they may, clean them up and polish them up, or they may use other parts. They may reuse other parts that have been used or partially used in the PC and then replace other parts with new parts. But they test the parts and they guarantee the parts just like it's a new PC. So recertified machines are really good. In fact, recertified machines that have been, is it recertified? Yeah, recertified. Yeah, recertified electronics of all sorts can save you a lot of money and be an alternative to just kind of a used equipment market where you're not really sure how good of shape the equipment's in and there's no warranty on it. So consider getting recertified equipment too. And so you have a lot of flexibility in there even too. You could get a recertified PC and upgrade the memory and upgrade the video card yourself. You might save some money. But my advice to you is do the research. You'll probably find most of the time you can get a really good deal on something that's pre-built, depending on, once again, what type of machine you want. If you want a lower level one or a really high level machine, it may actually pay in some ranges of machines to build your own. All right, let's look at that. All right, so that's pretty much the discussion for the day. I hope you found it useful. Consider subscribing to the channel. Also consider clicking on the bell icon so you'll be notified of new videos and new live streams as they happen. I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and this has been Dark Matters. And whatever you do, enjoy technology.